see, I just want to demonstrate one final thing. That there is a detail order number 3117283. I don't know if you can find it. And unfortunately, this time round, Governor, you did not paginate your documents, so we have to find it slowly. 3117283. Are we together? First of all, Governor, just look at that detail order. Just look at it the way it looks. First, you notice the famous stamp is not on this one. We were told a story of the stamp that was covering up the number of the vehicle. So, if you look at the quantity there, what figure is that? I can see the word petrol, CC. What is the figure on that detail order? The amount of fuel that is going to be sourced. Can you see it from your copy? That's a 5. Yeah. Well, I can't make it out on mine. What is the registration number of that vehicle?
43 CG247A.
Where is that 4 and 7 coming from? Because my copy doesn't have any of that.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. I think
you are reading the invoice. You're not reading the order.
We have 43 CG247, except at the time of probably making a copy for this file, the 7 is missing, but it seems cut. It's evidently that it is cut out of just a photocopy place error. My apologies.
Okay, so whose signature is that? Because all the others have been seeing, at least there is a reason. There's somebody who's being quoted there, HB Education or something like that. Whose signature is there, that one on 3117283?
This is the signature of the person from the Department of Education authorized to draw, to approve fuel withdrawal.
How many do you have in that department? How many people are authorized to do this document?
I think we have a maximum of 2 because one can be out of office per department.
So on this 3117283, who is the person who signed? Can you tell?
I would have to consult my colleague from the Department of Education.
Finally, what is the date on that 3117283?
22nd of May, 2025.
Where is the 5? Again, it was left out.
No, it's not left out, Senator, but I think it's just to do with the copies that were made, being that the detail order document, the color is yellow. When you make many copies, such as are bound to occur when you make many copies.
Okay, we are taking a lot of time on this matter. It's 42 million out of almost 13 billion expenditure for this year. And when you look at the time, because Governor, what was the reason for attaching the internal memo and the letter by the CC dated 2nd of February 2026? The reason why you're having a problem with the senators is your response to indicate that everything is okay. And they are struggling to show you where the gaps are. And I can see your officers did a memo recommending or saying that administrative action shall be taken and reminding all officers of the procedures. If you would have confirmed that would have been good enough, then you're going to get a lot of queries on the substance before us. So, if it's a perfect exercise, then I'll allow my senators to ask questions. But if it's work in progress and that is your submission, then we can keep some things in view. But let me hear from Senator Chiradi first.
No, Chair, looking at even blue economy, the entire invoices that has been provided by one of the petrol stations, I think, is not readable. So, and then looking at the discrepancy, Governor, of this amount, it might look small. But how many Kenyans can get 2,000 per day? So it is, Chair, it looks like this thing was manufactured, unless proven otherwise. And in fact, I don't know who is Robert Nyasuna for the county. And Governor, they must also, Governor, maybe you would consider striking out these invoices which are not readable until you get, so that it can form basis of answering this question.
Okay, members, to ensure that we are not bogged down as in an audit, because the facts as presented indicate there's a problem.
Yeah,
unless the governor disputes.
Just finally for me, I am not convinced when the CEC says there is only 2 people designated. Because just from the sample of those same documents, if we just look at the signatures from 311, 72, 83 to 82 to 78, those are at least 3 distinct signatures, CEC. So my expectation, Governor, would be to see a document of designation saying in this department, SIFUNA is authorized to issue these detailed orders so that we can be able to compare. From my reading here, there is more than one person signing these documents. It's creating a problem here.
Okay, Governor.
Chairman, I wanted to concur with you that the reason why we appended the memos and the administrative action is because of continuous improvement of the process, including the testing of the card system or any other system that can do. What we wanted to demonstrate by these documents was that there is a process that is not necessarily verbal. There is a detailed order and an invoicing process. It is not a perfect process. It is a work in progress, and that is why the CEC has written a memo reminding the officers that they must adhere to the strict process in the management of fuel.
So members, this is a matter that, because the in-year audit, I think, is beginning, Auditor General, you must also be more rigorous, because you had advised us earlier that the matter is resolved, but upon testing, you find that there are variances. This is a matter that you must remain open, and you must adequately look at in the next cycle of audits. Senator Muruma.
Chair, maybe because the audit has marked it as addressed, and we need to agree with him to resolve it because of the part of justification why the documents are not given during the time of audit. Maybe the CEC, I think, who is the person supposed to give the documents, can in 1 or 2 sentences tell us where the documents were, if they are there, why they're not given, and then
okay, that warrants a very brief answer. I'm very, very conscious of the time.
Thank you, Senator. Appendix 3B. Appendix 3B. We've taken administrative action on the officers that didn't avail the on time.
Yeah.
Yes, 3B, administrative action.
The question asked is different from the answer you are giving, because the Senator has asked where were the documents at the time of audit and why were they not produced, because administrative action is taken at the tail end. But since we have agreed that this is a matter that remains open, it's not resolved as indicated by the Auditor General, we'll keep the matter in view and ask the Auditor General to do a more thorough analysis. But then again, Governor, internally, you have seen some of the weaknesses in terms of record keeping, and it's something that you need to go back and have a conversation with your team on to ensure that it's a much more foolproof exercise. Now, members, I'd ask that we move on to the next issue. There's an issue of payment of electricity bills.
Chair, with your indulgence,
Senator Sharkey.
I know the OAG had said 21.27 million had been accounted for the expenditure of Kendu Bay showground wall. But looking at the management response, the governor says that she can only account for 10.4 million. So my question is, although the governor indicates that the program, the construction is ongoing, and then what is the fate of the other 10 million? Because looking at the management response, if the governor can clarify that, or is it that the OAG should have clarified on 10.4 million instead of 21.2 million in the payment of Kendo Bay Showground 1.
Okay, this is straightforward. Governor, the amount queried was 21 million. In your response, you have talked of 10.4 million. What happens to the remaining 11 million?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, the contract sum was 21,217,151. The project is ongoing, and the amount that has been paid is 10,411,561. That is what we indicated in the response. And the project is still ongoing.
Auditor General, when you say 21 million was spent, does that mean that there was evidence of actual payments of 21 million?
No, sure, that was the contract sum amount. You know, if you look in terms of the disclosures, the 21,217 was the contract sum for the Kendo Bay Showground.
Yeah,
but when we requested for the detail to support
but the language is important. When you say spent, it denotes payments. It denotes payments. I mean, you would have said total expenditure is 10 million.
10 million, yes.
And the project is still ongoing.
Yes, still in progress.
Governor, the project is still ongoing?
Yes, Chairman, it's ongoing. We have put in the pictures, Chairman, of the progress on the project.
So then, to avoid belaboring the point, we can keep it in view. We keep it in view. It remains unresolved. I want us to skip one or two matters, and we'll come back to them if time allows. And I'll perhaps give guidance that we jump to the section on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resource, where we have the issues to do with FIF, pending bills, and human resource. And then we'll come back to a few unresolved prior year matters, which form part of this report under Appendix 1. Honorable members, we go to the section on lawfulness and effectiveness and deal with the non-compliance with Facility Improvement Financing Act of 2023. Auditor General, you may read your findings.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. On compliance with the Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, the review of the revenue records obtained from the Level 4 and Level 5 health facilities in Homa Bay account revealed that 24 health facilities collected a total of 1,616,696,509 toward the health facility improvements. Out of this amount, a total of 915,941,705 was transferred to the special purpose account at the health department. However, the special purpose account reimbursed a total of 607,007,504 to the health facility, resulting to a deficit of 228,904,220. This was contrary to Section 5.1 of the Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, which requires that all monies raised or received on the behalf of the public health facilities be retained in the hospital facilities improvement financing account. In addition, failure to reimburse the total amount transferred by the facility negatively impacted on the service delivery by the health facilities. In the circumstances, the management of the county executive was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, you may respond.
Chair, just on a point of order, if you allow, I have seen the pictures of Kendo Bay Showground. The wall looks complete except the gates, but looking at the amount that is being used for walling vis-a-vis the land, it doesn't tally, because if I look at the land, it might come to around 3 to 5 million. Why would you use, and it looks desolate, why would you use that amount?
Let's do this. Let's deal with this FIF, and then the Governor responds, then we can come back to the show count.
Okay.
Yeah. Governor, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Management wishes to clarify that under the Homa Bay County Facility Improvement Fund, Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, the county government is required to retain 20% of collections from Level 4 and Level 5 health facilities Consequently, out of the 915,941,725 collected and transferred to the FIF special account by the hospitals, 183,188,345 was lawfully retained and utilized within the healthcare sector to fund the following programs: supervision of public health facilities, supporting level 2 and level 3 hospitals, and supply of commodities to hospitals, while the balance of 687,007,504 was reimbursed to the facilities during the financial year. As at June 2025, 45,745,875 remained unreimbursed and formed part of the cash and cash equivalents balance of 76,144,115 disclosed in the special purpose account bank statement. However, the funds were later reimbursed to facilities in July 2025 as per the schedule attached in the Appendix 7B. Management confirms that the funds were retained, managed, and accounted for in accordance with the relevant legal framework and fully disclosed in the financial statements. We have Appendices 7A, extract copy of the County FIF Act of 2023, 7B, Special Purpose Account Bank Certificate as at 30th June 2025 and disbursement schedules, 7C, extract of bank statements showing reimbursement of 45,745,875, and 7D, Chair, is Homa Bay County Amendment Bill 2026, which is the proposed bill so that the county bill conforms with the national FIF bill.
Auditor General, you cited violation of the law. What is the position?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Here, the issue is about the national law, the FIF Act 2023, which requires all the funds to be retained at the facility.
Yes, that is what you've said. So I've asked you, you have listened to the response from the county government. What is your advice on the basis of that response? What is your opinion on the basis of that response?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. There is, of course, we need to be guided, but if there is a conflicting between the county government laws and the national government laws, then the national government laws. So in that scenario, then they need to amend their finance, the act at the Homa Bay so that it can be aligned to the national. And I've seen some counties already has taken some initiative in terms of amending.
Yeah, I think, Auditor, you need just to be forthright and tell the county that you have breached the law. Don't go around. They have breached the law, and that's the situation. Honourable members, any follow-up question on this? Senator Morgan?
Just to understand where governors are coming from, what is the rationale behind retaining the 20%?
Governor?
Chairman, when we did the facilities infrastructure or facility improvement financing bill for the counties, there was a standard law that was done by the counties and circulated, which we used, which retained for purposes: 1, of supervision, 2, of support for lower level facilities within the jurisdiction or catchment of the level 4 facilities. That was the rationale for the retention, which was countrywide. It was done. It was a law done by. It was a template given to all counties, which we just domesticated in Homa Bay as well.
Here I'm raising this issue because some of these issues, especially on health, we can have a conversation, see the people we all serve. That's why I was asking. I need to understand the rationale behind the retention. So you may consider also engaging us at because we can amend the national law if retaining 20% will improve provision of health to our people.
Remember, honourable senators, we passed this law when we were sitting in Turkana at Senate machinery. And the intent of this was to ensure that if money is collected from a facility, that money is plowed back there.
Yes.
Remember, the county still has other budgets, other revenues, or equitable share that comes in that can do all those other functions. But in the hierarchy of laws, national law is superior to county law. And I think if there is need to have that conversation, I think these are the things that the Senate can be engaged in. But
to be sure, Chair, that there is mitigation, how are you handling FIF in this financial year, 25-26?
Chair, in addition, so that Governor, I'm at note number 14A on detailed analysis of cash and cash equivalents. I'm looking at the different bank accounts that has been opened for various facilities. That's page 28, 29 on the certificate. Which are these special purpose accounts, Governor, if you can point out. Number one, on your note 14 of financial statement is addition. And finally, before you open a special purpose account, your CCM finance tells you there is a process. So where was the justification to open special purpose account so that you can retain that? And maybe I have a different view of what my brother, senior counsel, Senator Okonga said. I thought the reason we wanted money to be plowed back is for efficiency of service delivery at the facility. So if counties go back and take again, and you know the major complaint was that you are taking money to county treasury, which is by the time we do requisition to get fuel for ambulance or drugs, Kenyans might have died. So what was the rationale? And I'll be hesitant that we don't amend that law because it's about health. I thought so that you can get money to fuel and get it is an emergency service.
Sure.
So I really want to understand where the governor is coming from, because the wisdom of FIF is to have resources brought back to improve efficiency and service delivery at the lowest level of the health at that lowest level. So, Chair, those will be my three follow-up.
okay, Chair. Let's allow Senator Lelegwe to go on record, and then Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Lelegwe to be Senator for Samburu, member of this committee.
You're welcome, Senator. Senator Wambua. Oh, sorry, Senator Gatai.
Chair, my name is Senator Mwenda Gataya Draganidi, member of this committee.
You're welcome. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Chair. I'm happy you are saying, and my colleagues are saying, between the county governors and the Senate. And I want to go back to that. It has been preached as is. The question that I ask myself, and the governors are the ones who are implementing these things. They are the ones who are on the ground doing these things. If there are difficulties, because I'm seeing a lot of these breaches in FIF, there's a lot of breaches in the wage bills, on pending bills, in almost every county. And the question that I ask myself, Chair, is what is the difficulty in the Council of Governors initiating a conversation with the Senate on the amendment of the laws? I don't take the position that Senator Cheragay is taking, that we don't touch the law. I mean, laws are there to be amended if there's need to do that. What is the difficulty in the COG, especially on health matters, on FIF, engaging the Senate and saying, perhaps we have this difficulty in the FIF, why can't we amend the law to suit counties across the board? Chair, that would be my comment on the FIF.
Governor.
Chair, on Senator Wambua's point, I think the reason that the national law is appears to be breached is because of the conflict between the national law and the county law and the laws that were already legislated by counties. And this was, as I mentioned earlier, a standard law that all counties legislated. And no sooner had we finished legislating, there was a new process. And when we input into the new process, some of these views were not accommodated. and the national law was then passed. But in recognition that the national law supersedes the county laws, we are amending our own county laws to conform with the national law for the moment. There was always the question, the FIF, the special purpose account that Senator Cherargei mentioned. Of course, each facility has an account, their own account, which they run on their own. There was an earlier question of expenditure at source, which facilities receive money and they spend without any level of control. So you will find that a facility has received money, rather than buy medicine, they have maybe prioritized building a gate. And that is why there was a special purpose account created so that when money is sent to the facility account, it is sent with an AIE. And we have formed an AIE committee that has the CC for health, the chief officer for health, and the facility in charge so that they discuss and agree on what are the priorities. And for example, they've said priority number one is you must buy pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals before you are allowed to invest in firewood or anything else at the facility level. So it is exercising some level of control, but ensuring that the facilities have their resources to expend. So, Chairman, on this particular FIF, we are concluding on amending the law. We have attached the real national law so that we can proceed, so that the breach is not noted. But all of this is for, there is no money from health that is not spent on health.
So, Governor, through the chair, that alignment, will it happen in all the counties, or is it just in Homa Bay?
This is what Homa Bay is doing. And the